Do you know what is the smallest unit of crossing over called? Can you name any 5 edible mushrooms? What is the botanical name of banana? Do you know what is the central dogma of gene expression? How are parenchymatous tissue and xylem tissue different? Are thorns stem modification or leaf modification? Is typhoid viral or bacterial? Let's explore this all together. Hello and welcome to you all. Today we are going to see 20 most frequently asked multiple choice questions in botany portions of college entrance test. Let's begin. Let's begin with cell theory. Cell theory was given by Scladen and Swan in 1830-1839. It states that cell is the smallest structural and functional unit of life. Charles Darwin gave a theory of natural selection. Gregor Johann Mendel gave 3 laws of heredity, namely law of dominance, law of segregation and law of independent assortment. Similarly, Singer and Nicholson gave fluid mosaic model of cell membrane. Question number 2 asks, which of these is not a plant? Among the given options, sea cucumber is not a plant. Monkey puzzle is a gymnosperm called Araucaria. Sea cucumber is an echinodon. Solanum melongena is also called as eggplant, and Capsula is also known as shepherd's purse. The study of pollen grains is called palynology. Similarly, anthology is the study of flower, spermology is the study of seed, pomology is the study of fruit, and embryology is the study of embryo. The branch of botany that is concerned with the study of fungi is called mycology. Similarly, phycology is concerned with the study of algae, bacteriology is concerned with the study of bacteria, virology is concerned with the study of virus, lichenology is concerned with the study of lichens, bryology is concerned with the study of bryophytes, pteridology is concerned with the study of pteridophytes, and dendrology is concerned with the study of shrubs and trees. Question number 5 asks us about the discovery of virus. Virus was first discovered by Russian scientist Dmitry Ivanovsky. It was tobacco mosaic virus, which was later isolated and crystallized by W.M. Stanley. Edward Jenner discovered smallpox and prepared smallpox vaccine. The term virus was given by Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur also discovered rabies and prepared anti-rabies vaccine. Question number 6 asks us about the characteristics of phanerogams. Phanerogams are characterized by well-developed flowers or cones. Basically, plants can be categorized into phanerogams and cryptogams on the basis of presence or absence of flowers. Cryptogams are characterized by thalloid body, absence of vascular tissue, and reproduction through spores. Cryptogams are comprised of all non-flowering plants like algae, bryophytes, and pteridophytes, whereas phanerogams are comprised of all flowering plants like gymnosperms and angiosperms. Let's have a look on classification of plant kingdom. Plant kingdom can be categorized into non-embryophytes and embryophytes on the basis of development of embryo. Non-embryophytes include algae. Embryophytes can further be categorized into atracheophytes and tracheophytes on the basis of presence or absence of vascular tissues. Atracheophytes include bryophytes, and tracheophytes can further be categorized into non-spermophytes and spermophytes on the basis of development of flower, fruits, and seeds. Non-spermophytes include pteridophytes. Spermophytes can further be categorized into gymnosperms and angiosperms on the basis of whether the ovule is naked or closed. Question number 7 asks us about the formation of RNA from DNA. The synthesis of RNA from DNA is termed as transcription. Transduction is one out of 3 ways of gene transfer in bacteria. The 3 ways of gene transfer in bacteria are transformation, transduction, and conjugation. In transformation, a bacterium takes up a piece of DNA floating in its environment, whereas in transduction, DNA is accidentally moved from one bacterium to another by a virus. In conjugation, DNA is transferred between bacteria through a conjugation tube. The central dogma of gene expression is replication followed by transcription and translation. In replication, 2 identical DNA molecules are synthesized by a double-stranded DNA molecule. In transcription, mRNA is synthesized from a DNA template, and in translation, protein is synthesized from mRNA template. In question number 7, we are asked to identify the exception to bacterial disease. Among the given options, tetanus, cholera, typhoid are bacterial disease, but common cold is not a bacterial disease, it is actually a viral disease. Let's have a look on other bacterial diseases and their causative agents. Syphilis is a bacterial disease caused by Treponema pallidum. Gonorrhea is caused by Neisseria gonorrhoeae. Tuberculosis is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Leprosy by Mycobacterium leprae. Typhoid is caused by Salmonella typhi. Cholera is caused by Vibrio cholera. Tetanus is caused by Clostridium tetani. Anthrax by Bacillus anthracis. Diphtheria by Corynebacter diphtheriae. Pneumonia is caused by Streptococcus pneumoniae. Meningitis by Neisseria meningitis. Let's also have a look on viral disease. AIDS is caused by retrovirus. Polio is caused by picorna virus. Chickenpox by herpes virus. Rabies by rhabdovirus. Mumps is caused by paramyxovirus. Common cold by rhinovirus. Influenza is caused by orthomyxovirus. Dengue fever is caused by flavivirus. Among the given options, xylem is water conducting tissue in plants. Parenchyma is a storage tissue. Sclerenchyma provides mechanical strength. Phloem is a food conducting tissue. Let's have a look on classification of plant tissues. Plant tissues can be categorized into meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Meristematic tissues are comprised of primary meristematic tissue and secondary meristematic tissue. Permanent tissue can be further categorized into simple permanent tissue, complex permanent tissues, and specialized permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissue is comprised of parenchyma, chlorenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Complex permanent tissues are comprised of xylem and phloem. Specialized permanent tissues are comprised of lactiferous tissue and glandular tissues. The smallest unit of crossing over is racon. Muton, racon, and cistron all are units of DNA, whereas gene is a small segment of DNA that determines a particular character. Cistron is a functional unit of DNA which is capable of synthesizing polypeptide chain. Racon is the smallest unit of DNA that can undergo recombination or crossing over, and muton is the smallest unit of DNA that can undergo mutation. Question number 10 asks us about the symbiotic association between algae and fungi. The symbiotic association between algae and fungi is known as lichen. Mycorrhyza and root nodules are the symbiotic association between fungi and higher plants. Let's have a look on other different kinds of associations. The first one is symbiosis or mutualism, where both organisms depend upon each other as they both are benefited. For example, lichens and mycorrhiza. Similar to symbiosis is proto-cooperation, where both organisms are benefited, but the difference is that the individuals can live separately. Next is commensalism, where only one organism is benefited while the other remains unaffected. For example, E. coli in intestine of man. The next is parasitism, where two different size organisms associate and the smaller one is benefited, harming the larger one. For example, ectoparasites and endoparasites. The virus which attacks bacteria are called bacteriophage. Similarly, phycophage attacks algae, mycophage attacks fungi, coliphage attacks E. coli, zymophage attacks yeast, cyanophage attacks cyanobacteria, phytophage attacks plants, and zoophage attacks animals. The botanical name of edible mushroom is Agaricus bisporus. Saccharomyces cerevisiae is the botanical name of yeast. Penicillium chrysogenum is a fungi that yields antibiotic called penicillin. Emanta phalloides is a botanical name of poisonous mushroom. Other edible mushrooms include Pleurotus, Lentinula edodes, Lycopodon pyriforme, Morchella esculenta, Cordyceps sinensis, Ganoderma lucidum, and Bolvariella bolvesi. Question number 13 asks us to identify an exception to bryophyte. Among the given option, Chlamydomonas is not a bryophyte. Chlamydomonas is an algae. Let's have a look on general classification of bryophytes. Bryophytes can be classified into three classes, namely Hepaticopsida, Anthoceratopsida, and Bryopsida. Hepaticopsida include species like Rixia, Markansia, Tarziona, Plagiocasma, Conocephalum, Pellia, and Porella. Anthoceratopsida include Anthocerus, and Bryopsida include species like Sphagnum, Funaria, Polytrichum, and Pogonatum. Question number 14 asks us to identify the odd one among given option. Among the given option, ginkgo is not a pteridophyte. Ginkgo is a gymnosperm, which is also known as a living fossil. Let's have a look on general classification of pteridophytes. Pteridophytes can be classified into four classes, namely Xylophyta, Lycophyta, Sphenophyta, and Pterophyta. Xylophyta includes species like Rhynia and Xylotum. Lycophyta includes species like Lycopodium, Selaginella, and Isoetes. Sphenophyta includes species like Equisetum. And Pterophyta includes species like Maratia, Azolla, Dryopteris, and Pteris. Question number 15 asks us to identify the odd one among the given options. Among the given options, Yucca and Dracena are not gymnosperm. They are angiosperm. They are monocots that show secondary growth. Let's have a look on general classification of gymnosperm. Gymnosperms can be classified into three classes, namely Cycadopsida, Coniferopsida, and Nitopsida. Cycadopsida include species like Cycas and Jamia. Coniferopsida include species like Pinus, Abies, Taxus, Araucaria, and Ginkgo. And Nitopsida include species like Nitum and Ephedra. Question number 16 asks us the botanical name of potato. The botanical name of potato is Solanum tuberosum. Brassica campestris is the botanical name of mustard. Oryza sativa is the botanical name of rice. Lycopersicum esculentum is the botanical name of tomato. Let's have a look on botanical names of different crops. The botanical name of wheat is Triticum aestivum, maize G. maize, sal Surya robusta, mango Magnifera indica, pea Pisum sativum, banana Musa paradisica, neem Azadiracta indica, tulasi Ocimum sanctum. Similarly, the botanical name of chili Capsicum annuum, ginger Gingiber officinale, turmeric Curcuma longa, onion Ilium cepa, and garlic Ilium sativum. Question number 17 asks us about the modification of leaf. Among the given option, phylloclade is not a modification of leaf. Phylloclade is a modification of stem. Stem can be of three types: aerial, subaerial, and underground. Aerial stem includes twinners, climbers, culms, thorns, caudex, spines, and prickles. Subaerial stem includes stolons, runners, offset, and sucker. Underground stem includes rhizome, tuber, corm, and bulb. The modification of stem are phylloclade, cladode or cladophyll, and thalamus. And the modification of leaf are leaf tendrils, leaf spines, and phyllodes. The process by which plants synthesize carbohydrates in presence of CO2 and H2O is called photosynthesis. Transpiration is the process of loss of water from plants as water vapor through the pores of the leaves, whereas photorespiration is the process that lowers the efficiency of photosynthesis. It happens in excess of oxygen. In this process, RUBP reacts with oxygen to release carbon dioxide. Similarly, photophosphorylation is the step of photosynthesis where ADP is phosphorylized in the presence of sunlight to form ATP. The phenotypic ratio of monohybrid cross is 3:1. 1:2:1 is the genotypic ratio of monohybrid cross, and 9:3:3:1 is the phenotypic ratio of dihybrid cross. Let's understand what monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross means. Monohybrid cross is a cross between two organisms that differ in a single given trait, whereas dihybrid cross is a cross between organisms that differ in two traits. Let's also understand what phenotypic ratio and genotypic ratio mean. Phenotypic ratio is the ratio of visible characteristics, whereas genotypic ratio is the ratio of gene combination in the offspring. The last question asks, what is the response of a plant parts to water current called? It is called rheotaxis. Response of an organism towards a stimulus can be either taxis or tropism. Taxis refers to response or orientation of a whole body to a stimulus, whereas tropism refers to a response or orientation of body parts to a stimulus. Taxis and tropism can be towards or away from air, which is called aerotropism, water hydrotropism, water current rheotropism, light phototropism, gravity geotropism, chemicals chemotropism, touch thigmotropism, and heat thermotropism. So this was all about botany for today. Thanks for watching until the end. If you found the video worth watching until the end, please do not forget hitting subscribe, like and share it with your friends. Keep loving, keep supporting. Stay connected for more. See you in the next video. Thank you.